Hey everybody! So before you watch this video, I hope you were in Seesaw and you looked at the artwork by the artist Wayne Thiebaud. He made all of the beautiful dessert artwork. I also want to point out to you, I'm holding a handmade mug and it matches my handmade earrings. Isn't that cool? These were made by other artists. I didn't make these, but just wanted to show you that because it's pretty cool. So today, for our art project, you're going to make a dessert, any kind of dessert that you want, your favorite dessert in the whole entire world, and it's going to be sitting in a plate or a cup or a fancy cup or just on a table. And we're going to draw a picture of it. So today we're just going to draw it, and all you need is a pencil and an eraser. In the next art class, we're going to color it in. Do not color it in today. So you're going to save your paper today in a very safe place so that you can find it again next week, because I'm going to teach you some special things about how to color it and add some shadows and cool stuff like that. Okay, so get a piece of white paper and a pencil and we're going to get started. All right, guys, so I don't have any dessert in my house, and you probably don't have your favorite dessert in the whole wide world in your house either. So I'm just going to use this apple to talk about, and you can go on the internet and look for a picture of your favorite dessert, okay? What I want you to notice is that this is on a plate, and we know that plates are round, right? So when I hold, you can't see it too well, but if I hold it like this, and I drew a picture of it like that, it would be a perfect circle. See that circle? But it's not a perfect circle when I draw it. When it's laying flat on the table, it's like an oval shape, right? So if you're gonna draw a plate for your dessert to be on, it's gonna be an oval because it's sitting flat on the table. When we look at things at different angles, they change shapes. Now it's a very stretched out oval. And again, if I tilt it up, it's more round, okay? So let me hold the camera up here so you can see me drawing. I don't even think I'm going to draw an apple. It was just there for an example. Okay, but I'm going to start with my, I think I'm going to start with my plate. So remember I said the plate was an oval. It's going to be a pretty stretched out oval. Something like that. I'm not going to press too hard because I'm going to have to erase part of this. I'm going to make a cupcake. Right? So a cupcake is round. So the bottom of the cupcake, if it's round, it's kind of like how the plate is roundish. The bottom of the cupcake is kind of a cylinder. Okay, so this is the bottom of the cupcake, and it's going to be a nice big cupcake. It's going to come up like this. And we need to erase this part of the plate now that the cupcake is on the plate. Okay, and I think I'm going to do the paper. Kind of goes like that. And here's a little bit of the cake part showing. But then I think I'm going to do some very swirly frosting on my cupcake. And I'm going to put a giant cherry on top. And I think I'm not done. My plate is a little bit boring. I want it to be on kind of a fancy plate. So maybe, oops, my plate is a little crooked. I'm going really fast, guys. You should maybe take your time a little bit more than me. But maybe my plate is going to have some designs on it because it's like a super fancy dessert plate. All right, now your plate cannot, right now it's just floating in outer space. It needs to be sitting on a table, okay? So you got to draw a line for a table. For me, it's a little easier to go like this and hold it sideways. Right, so now we can see a line. It's sitting on a table. Now you don't have to do a plate. Maybe you could, instead of a plate, you could turn this into a cake stand. So you could actually go like this. And imagine it is like a super duper fancy cupcake holder, okay? You could do that. Or you could do like, if you ever got a really fancy milkshake from a restaurant, you know, you could do a cup like this. I want you to look at the artwork that Wayne Thiebaud has done and maybe get some ideas from there. Or again, if you Google some pictures of like your most favorite dessert, you might find something that you like. So here's ice cream. Maybe you could draw chocolate syrup drizzling down. Maybe this is a clear glass and you can actually see through it and you can see chocolate dripping and stuff. But remember, right now this is floating. It needs to be on a table because it's really weird if you just have floating ice cream, right? This is not done. There should be maybe a little bit more details. So all you're doing today is drawing with pencil a picture of your dessert. Send me a picture of this. Next week, we will color it in and try to make it look 3D. To make things look round, it curves. It's not flat like that, okay? If something is round, it curves, and as we turn it, the curve kind of changes as we turn it. So the plate looks kind of flat like this. Now it's an oval. Our plate will not be a perfect circle, right? So try to think about that when you're doing your drawing. Help it to look, if it's a round thing, help it to look more round. Maybe it's a pie, okay? So it could be, this is the top of the pie, but then we can draw the sides of the pie, okay? Or maybe it's a cake. So think a cake would be like a square. You guys, some of you are really good at drawing cubes, right? So if I have a square piece of cake, we can do a cube, right? But that doesn't look very much like cake. We can take that, we could add like fluffy icing around the edges, maybe like some dripping icing on it. And we could remove some of these lines so that it looks a little bit more like a piece of cake. Okay, and I always think putting a cherry on things makes it just look like a wonderful dessert. So I could go like that. You don't have to put a cherry on it. But again, this cake is floating, so we should maybe give it a table, right? Or that's a plate. Give it a plate of some sort and give it a table. I don't want you to have 3 desserts, okay? This is just an example. All right, your art project should be something like this. Just one big dessert on some kind of a plate or a cup and a line to show us that it's sitting on a table. Have fun.